Hello, this is Catholic Dad, episode number 96, advice to young married people. So this is Catholic Dad. I've been married now 21 years, almost 21 years, sorry. Got number 9 on the way, ninth kid coming here soon, probably within a week or two. And I wanted to tell young married people some of the mistakes I made in my marriage and my early life. And then hopefully they can avoid making the same mistakes. And so when you first get married, you really have no responsibility. You just you kind of cling to one another, and like man is always looking for responsibility, and women are always looking for things to care for. And so some of the early mistakes in marriage are related to those inclinations of young people. And so what women want to do, because they're looking for things to care for, they're looking to acquire certain things that they can care for. And so for example, puppy dogs and animals and stuff like that, if women don't have children, they're always looking for something to care for. And so this is a time in your life you can actually make extraordinarily large mistakes with the acquisition of animals. I would offer a suggestion to young married people out there: wait a couple of years before you even consider getting an animal and see where your life settles, because once you have an animal is almost more difficult than a child in certain ways, because you have to find kenneling for them when you want to travel or move or whatever else, and in some ways sometimes they limit your housing possibilities. I mean, I'm actually a landlord, and I don't allow anybody to have animals in my places because animals destroy things. And so that's another problem that you can have as a young married person, so the acquisition of animals. The other thing is, when you first get married, like you feel like you want to play house and like get nice things. That's one of the inclinations of younger people. My grandma Murphy actually gave me some advice and she said you don't want expensive stuff when you're younger. And what she gave us for our wedding gift was this. I think it was a little silverware set from Walmart. It was like the simplest basic thing ever. It probably cost $3 or something like that. And then we also got really nice forks and knives, a nice silverware set, plates, bowls, spoons, everything else. And the one thing that's persevered through our marriage is that little Walmart or Kmart, whatever it was, a set of silverware that my grandma got us. And it's actually my favorite set of silverware that I have now. The expensive stuff's all been like thrown out in the garbage, lost in the yard, you name it. And I don't know why that is, but it just worked out that way. All the expensive bowls, all the expensive cups, plates, everything we had, they're pretty much all gone. I think we have one cup left from when we got married. And so, keep it simple early on. You don't need expensive stuff, and you don't need a lot of stuff either. You don't even need to play house. You have zero responsibility. You essentially need maybe 2 or 3 plates, and you can get paper plates if you have company. So keep it simple. Keep yourself mobile. Keep yourself liquid. Keep yourself fluid. If you start bogging yourself down with responsibility, and you start bogging yourself down with living a higher lifestyle than you probably should at that point in time. I mean, when you're initially married, you're poor, you're broke, by definition. There's no way, if you're a young married person, you're pretty much broke. So live like you're broke, because you are broke. And so don't try to live like your parents. Don't try to live like your imagination of what you want to be when you're married. Try to live simply, try to live humbly, try to live, and don't acquire things that you shouldn't be acquiring. Now, here's the other thing. Financially, it makes a lot of sense too, because once you live a certain lifestyle, you become acquainted to it, and you don't want to go backwards in lifestyle. That's always a difficult way to go. It's a way easier to go forward ahead in lifestyle, like when you start making more money, expanding your lifestyle, and then expanding your lifestyle towards having more stuff. That's easy to do, but it's not easy to go the other way. And mind you, in your lifetime, you don't have much control over your investments. You don't have much control over your salary per se, unless you're willing to work tons and tons of jobs. You don't have a lot of control over a lot of things, but the one thing you do have control over is what kind of lifestyle you live. And if you live a simple, humble lifestyle, you don't get all sorts of expensive cable TV. In fact, for the bulk of my married life, we haven't even had a TV. You know how much money we've saved in that without having cable TV? It's really quite amazing. And so that's another word of advice for young people. So keep it simple early on, economically. Try to live way under your means and try to save some money, even when you're early on. Because if you acquire those good habits of finances, you're going to really, you're going to do well in the future. Because if you are able to save money when you're newly married, that means you're like ahead of 99% of people out there. Most people, when they're newly married, they have no money, and then they're always expanding their lifestyle. They're acquiring expensive pets, cars, dogs, jewelry, you name it, clothes, going on vacations when they're young, things like that. Try to keep it simple, because your marriage is not about like having unadulterated fun and living like you're kings and queens. Your marriage is about joining to one another and creating a family, and that takes a great amount of personal restraint and responsibility. And so that's advice to young people that are newly married, and I guess I'll reword it. Don't acquire a whole bunch of responsibility early on, because it will come with time and with children. So don't get a whole bunch of like rambunctious puppy dogs. Don't, those kind of things that could actually create stress in your life you don't need, particularly as a young married person. And it also limits your capacity to move, find jobs, and so on and so forth. And also keep your lifestyle simple and humble and cheap, because you can always expand your lifestyle later if you have enough acquired wealth to do such things. So this is Catholic Dad. God bless you, and pray the Daily Rosary, and take care.